What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. It is Tuesday, November 1st. It is 2 days after the Forgotten Angels campout has ended. Now it's back to real life, which always kind of sucks because we have so much fun out there with all of our friends, and then we have to come back to work, responsibilities, chores. Ugh. Speaking of chores, I have a trip coming up on the Goldwing in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. We're going up to Tennessee for Thanksgiving, and the wife's going to be taking my car with kids in it, and I'm taking the motorcycle up. We're going separately, and we're going to do that because I want to get out and about. We're going to be there like 9 days, so I want to try to get around in the mountains, hit up Virginia and the 2 Carolinas to add to the states that I haven't ridden in before. I think that'll be a lot of fun. So before that, I probably need to troubleshoot and locate the coolant leak. I feel like that's what I'm chasing on this motorcycle forever. Like, it'll never end. I rode this all weekend for the camp out, a couple days before that. So I'm gonna get in there now and see how much coolant was lost. And then sometime this week, I want to take off the panels, let it get real hot, and see if I can locate where it's coming from. Could be the radiator that I just replaced, the one that was used already. Could be the reservoir. Could be the hoses. Could be anything, but let's look and see where the level is now. Well, the good news is that the radiator, the cooling system is full. That is not the telltale sign though. What normally happens is it'll push through from the reservoir like it's supposed to, and then lose it all somewhere in the mix. So we're gonna close this up and check the reservoir side before I know that I need to really start digging in. So as suspected, the reservoir is almost bone dry. So from the reservoir to the system is working as intended, but I've got a leak somewhere, so looks like we'll be spending some time doing that. I was kind of hoping to not do anything this weekend, really. I've had a busy entire month of October, and I need some reset time. And even though the party was a camp out and fun, that wasn't reset. That was hardcore. So let's fill this thing back up. I gotta get out and about on it today. We got some chores to run, and we'll see you when we get started.
All right, boys and girls, here we go. I don't know what the tone of this video is going to be yet. I really don't. I got some things on my mind. But what I'm doing right now is I want to pick up some stuff so I can do a service on the Triumph. The service interval on a thing is just ridiculous. It's every 10,000 miles or once a year, whichever comes first. And I've not put 10,000 miles on it this year. We've still got a little over a month left, but maybe it's my generation or maybe it's where I was raised. I'm not sure, but you know, coming up, it was always 3,000 miles religiously. 3,000 miles or 3 months. And I know technology, both in oil manufacturing and engine engineering, motor engineering, whatever. But that's not really the case anymore. So 10,000 miles is probably fine. I'm not even close to that. I'm about 3,000 miles on the Triumph. I have put right at 9,000 miles on the Goldwing in the last year. I just got it a year ago, yesterday or 2 days ago. So the Goldwing is definitely getting a hell of a lot more use than the Triumph, but I'm going to change the oil on it anyway. I need to clean and lube the chain, need to tighten the chain. The Triumph dealership closes at 6. I'm going to go pick up a filter at least and see if they have a filter wrench. I'm giving myself about an hour's worth of time. Hopefully that's enough, because I also need to pick up oil from the AutoZone. I know the oil conversation, and just by me talking about oil right now, I know I'm going to get what every one of you use and is, swear to God, the best oil on the face of the universe. But I like Valvoline full synthetic 10W40 motorcycle oil. And I was reading the Triumph, I was reading the owner's manual today, and it said it needed to be API SH or higher, which it is. It's SM, and it needs to be JSO MA. And I had to look up the spec sheets on Valvoline, and sure enough, it's JSO MA2. So we're good to go with that oil. It's fine. It's fine, guys. It really is. But I did kind of want to talk about, like, what am I doing with that bike? That bike is still 100% stock from the day I bought it. back in December, 2 days before Christmas. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing that says if you get a motorcycle, you must do X things to it. I've talked about things I want to do to that motorcycle, including ape hangers and forward controls. I am going to do white walls once these Avons wear out, and I haven't gotten to it. One, the preventative maintenance alone on the Goldwing has been pretty costly this year, especially after the wreck and I had to build everything back. Two, when we bought the wife's Shadow, that put me about $1,500 in the hole. After we bought it. So that $1,500 could have been used for anything, but and I'm not complaining about it. I would much rather make sure that her motorcycle was good to go and ready for her to ride than me doing things like ape hangers and forward controls on my bike, because I don't know. It's just something about I want my wife to have a nice ride. You know what I mean? I didn't want her looking like it did when we got it. I didn't want it to be that ghetto. I think we did a lot to it to make it look better. But now it's time to start thinking about exactly what I want to put my money into. Oh, the guitars that I've been playing the last 7-8 months, that has most definitely been eating into my motorcycle parts fund for sure. I've had a lot of things cross my mind recently about motorcycles and enhancing motorcycles and acquiring motorcycles. You guys know I love this Goldwing. I know some of you guys, somebody tagged me on Instagram the other day and said there were people sitting around talking shit about my bike. It was probably in good fun. But still, it's like, I love the bike. I've got no reason to change it. I mean, yeah, there's some gaffer tape holding some of the panels on. There's some duct tape for the custom upholstery work that I have back there on both seats. And no, the colors don't match. But hey, good news on that. So my Dixon flannel was too small for me, so I sold it to a friend of mine, and I just ordered another one today, and I found one the exact same colors as old Swamp Water, blue and green, like this color blue and this color green. I can't wait till it gets a little cooler out so I can wear it around town on old Swamp Water and be instantly recognized. You know, when I put this thing back together a couple of months ago, I was really proud of that, actually. I play it off like, it's just putting a bunch of plastic together, and that's true. It's not I didn't do anything major to it, but that was an ordeal, man, and it took me a while, and I had to get the parts and yada yada yada. But as I was going through it, I'm like, man, there's so many things on here that I could fix and make them function. But you know, how much is that going to cost? And I still want to tour. The whole point of me buying the Goldwing at the time was because my other motorcycle was a Royal Enfield, and people were talking about trips. That old Continental GT was not going to go on any sort of a road trip. But I couldn't afford to go out and buy a new touring motorcycle or a newer one. I just don't have the funds for that. That's when I started seeing Josh on the Goldwings, and I'm like, oh, there's an idea. Went out, got the old lady drunk, pitched the idea. She didn't say no, and here we are. So I like it. I still wanted to tour. And I know these things can last 200,000 plus miles. Plus miles, if you can. But at what point do you say, let's just keep it running and let it live its life? Or what? You know what I mean? And, you know, you guys have seen me test riding other motorcycles in recent videos, especially like the Heritage and the Road Kings, Kyle's Road Kings. And I've mentioned things like that, you know, not just for me, but even for the old lady. And I wonder, you know, I do like touring. I mean, you wouldn't know it because this year I only went on one significant road trip. I mean, I've been to Savannah and Jacksonville, St. Augustine a couple of times. Or Orlando's not a road trip, but I want to do more of that. One, I need more time, but two is like, is this the bike that's going to get me there? And yes, you can do it. I know I can do it because I've done it. I went 3,000 miles in 4 days with Josh and Whiskey Chaser and a whole bunch of other friends and family over to Arkansas and the long way back. But is this the one, like how much money do I put into this, I guess is what I'm thinking about. And, do I get new plastics, ones that aren't missing screw holes? Where do I find newer plastics? I'm sure they're out there. You know, do I get some of the embellishments that make it look better? Do I get in lights that fit into the holes that are now on my lower cowl that I didn't have before? Do I bother with, you know, trying to, I don't know anything about carburetors. Do I bother with trying to learn how to rebuild the carbs and find this vacuum leak that's causing my idle to surge? All those little questions just go through my head. Now, how much money do I sink into that piece of it? And how much of that prevents me from doing things like my ape hangers and forward controls on the Triumph? Or even, I mean, there's a lot of things. The Triumph accessories, the aftermarket world is really expensive. You know, I want to shorten the fender. I might want to add a sissy bar. You know, all kinds of little things that I want to do to it, and I can't because I'm wrapped up in this. You know, the wife is already, she's not dead serious yet, but she's talking about it. I mean, she's already thinking about that road trip over to Orlando on the 750. Yeah, the 750 can take you anywhere, but she noticed it was a little more difficult to catch up, even to this turd, you know, on the back roads and on the freeway. Is that really the bike that she wants? So, I don't know. Like, maybe do we sell the bobber? I mentioned it a couple videos ago. Maybe do we try to sell the bobber in a little bit and try to get her something like a Heritage or a Road King? And I only mention those bikes because in my head, here's kind of my plan. I want something that's hers that I can also tour on. Does that make sense? Like if I'm going out of town, there's a very slim chance that she and I are going to be going on road trips together within the next few years. A couple, you know, until my grandson gets old enough to where, I don't know, where we can do those kinds of things. So, and if we got her something that she would be more satisfied on, that I could also borrow to tour on, is that a win? Is that the answer? I don't know. I know in 2 years, my grandson will be out of daycare. That's a $700 a month expense. We will have both of our four-wheeled vehicles paid off. There's $800, $900, something like that. So, and I'm looking at about a $1,500 bump, or not bump in income, but a decrease in expenditures coming up in the next two and a half years. And that's important, man, because that means that I might be able to look at, I'm not going to go blow it all again on motorcycle payments, but it could give me some room to get us both new motorcycles. You know what I mean? Oh, I don't know why I just pulled in here. Some of it. I'm so used to getting vape. And here we are. That's not why I'm coming. I'm going to Triumph, which is just down the road. That was a tight turn, baby. Anyway, I think you know where I'm going with that. I mean, I'd welcome any opinions down below, as long as they're, like, realistic, you know. Well, I mean, you can be goofy if you want. I really don't mind. You guys know I don't mind. Here we go. All right, that's enough of that for now. Let's get in here and pick up my oil filter, see what they got for me.
Oh boy, what a hassle. So it's November 1st, still 86 degrees out, and I took this pig out in rush hour traffic, which means the radiator fans were constantly on. I want to show you guys something. This is probably my favorite thing on any parts box ever. This is the official Triumph filter. Triumph genuine part to be fitted by a trained mechanic. Filter ain't gonna no way hit it, baby. I'm not a trained mechanic. I got my PhD from YouTube University, but not a trained mechanic. Oil and filter in the house. Gonna work. That's for the Triumph. Although I'm debating whether or not I do an oil change on the Goldwing before I head up to Tennessee in a couple weeks. Not gonna put the Goldwing up yet. Probably gonna get the Triumph out tonight. Probably. Wife should be home here sometime in the next 10 minutes or so, and then there's a good chance, not a guaranteed chance, but a good chance she and I are going to get to ride together. So it was nice this past weekend that she did her solo ride out to Forgotten Angels, but we didn't ride together that weekend. In fact, we haven't ridden together since the blockhead party. Looking forward to sharing a little road with her.
Okay, here we are. I had the camera on back there, but traffic's so fucking dumb still from rush hour, which in Tampa is all of them. But yeah, I'm really excited to be able to ride with the wife again. I mentioned it off the bike there a few minutes ago, but yeah, she rode out by herself to Valrico the other day, but we haven't ridden together since,
Wow.
well, it was a blockhead party coming back from Orlando, I think. Hey, your blinker's on. Oh, I miss telling you that, baby.
It's only when you're with me.
Whatever. How do you know?
I'm pretty sure I do a good job turning it off when I'm by myself. Well, the one time I was by myself.
Sure, we'll go with that. I like it. The confidence.
I mean,
I know my presence makes you woozy. Like, not in like,
you forget things.
not in a lovesick way, but in a, oh my god, I'm gonna throw up good way. I haven't really missed riding with you.
Me too.
It's like
We haven't done this like just to go out for a ride in a long ass time.
no, probably September. I was saying earlier how I really didn't want to have anything to do this weekend. So I mean, I'm recording a bunch this week, so all I had to do is edit because of how busy October was. Yeah, my feelings haven't changed, so man, this is one of my favorite things in the world, being able to ride with you, and I just haven't been able to do it. So we are headed up to, I don't think I wasn't recording that day. I was just making some riding footage. Headed up to this place called Keystone Corner. It's a little market, kind of out in the woods. As you can see, we're kind of heading that direction now. That we always pass when we take these back roads, but never really stop. But one day I was out for lunch, and I passed it going out, and I said, you know what, I'm going to intentionally come back this way and stop there for lunch, and I did. I'm glad I did. You guys know those corner markets, maybe even gas stations in your area that also have delis attached to them. Sometimes those little hole-in-the-wall places, those little like gas station corner market delis are the best. I know up north, especially Jersey, New York, you guys have delis everywhere. That's probably one of the big things you miss when you come down to Florida, but we don't have those everywhere down here. Anyway, that's enough rambling. So, baby,
Yes.
you've done your first ride now. Do you think that gave you more confidence or about the same level as you were before?
No, definitely more. I mean, I was feeling pretty good. I mean, there's still times where, I stall the bike or whatever, or I think I'm shifting into second, but I'm really in neutral.
Yeah, go ahead.
So that is kind of one of those things that's like, God, I need to figure that out. But definitely riding by myself, knowing that I can ride that far by myself, not that it's a huge distance, but I think it was like 65 miles round trip or something like that. It definitely gave me the confidence to know that I can do it. So if I wanted to, just take a small ride by myself, I wouldn't be scared to do it.
Yeah. Distance-wise, you're right. But you came back roads only. So you didn't get the luxury of zipping down the freeway. So lots of red lights, probably some stop and go, dealing with other traffic. That's a lot harder riding.
It is, and it was very good practice for me because, like I was telling you the other day, like I had to really be mindful, and not that I shouldn't be when I'm with you, but I think I've kind of relied a little bit on you telling me what to watch out for, or at least I've gotten used to it.
Yeah.
And so on Saturday I had to 100%, be responsible for my decisions and, what I was doing. So it was definitely a really, really good practice for me.
Excellent. Anyway, you stalled a total of how many times on your trip?
Once, when I left the camp out.
One time.
One time.
So, stalling's pretty normal. I mean, I don't know. I probably stall once in a blue moon. Neutral. I hit neutral going from first all the time.
Yeah.
All the time, especially in the Goldwing. Like you're in it in first, and you hit the clutch, and come up and let off.
Yeah, that happens to me. So I know there's been a couple times where you've recorded, and it's like kind of embarrassing because you're like, you good back there? And that's typically because I'm in neutral.
Oh,
take off.
Yeah, you don't say anything because you're a bear.
Yeah,
Yeah, I get it.
whatever.
These boys out here, country boys. Yeah, you guys should see her, man. She's got a Dixon flannel now she was wearing the other day.
Yup. Shit kept me warm too.
I bet it did. Those are nice, thick flannels.
Listen, this little
That's funny. Ride your ride, man. They're out having a good fucking time. I remember being that age riding those old little dirt bikes.
Here's this little spot. We pass it all the time. It's cute. You're cute. Cute little spot. Got some tables outside. It closes at 8. So, you know, it's not something you can come to in the middle of the night, but shit, man, we're out here where there's not even street lights. So I'm totally satisfied with that. I'll show you the front of it. Like I said, I've been here once. We keep saying we want to come here, and we always forget. And yeah, I like these kind of places a lot, man. So where I was going with the confidence piece earlier, how do you feel about riding the Triumph soon? Not tonight.
No, not tonight. I mean, I want to. I'm just scared that
Wait, tell me why you want to.
it's fucking badass.
It is a badass bike. That's right. You heard it here first, baby. What are you scared of?
I'm scared of riding. I know you're not just someone else, but someone else's bike, and then
Fucking it up.
because I would feel terrible. Like I felt like a fucking turd when I dropped my bike.
Yeah.
And I would feel dropping somebody else.
Maybe we'll play with it around the neighborhood, but
Yeah.
now the riding positions are going to be different for you. The controls are a little bit more under your feet, and like the foot pegs and stuff, and then your handlebars are going to be down and farther forward, but it's going to have significantly more power than your 750.
So I might like pop a wheelie and fly backwards or something.
Not like that much more power, but definitely just take a second to get used to it.
Yeah.
Like, are you working the friction zone while giving it gas right now on your Honda? Yeah, I really play with the friction zone. I'm nervous about it too, because if you drop it, I'm going to be upset. Yeah. But I really want you to ride it, so we'll see what happens. Here it is. These things are massive. I mean, the buns are so soft. Mushroom Swiss, bacon cheddar. All right, here we go. Let's see how it is. Fresh off the griddle. That's why I can't be skinny. Damn, superb.
Superb.
Absolutely superb. You?
Very good.
Is it?
Super.
It is superb. Oh, good double take. Hell yeah. All right, y'all. That is going to wrap this one up. This was actually a very impromptu video. I had no intention of having a 26 minute video already edited. Today is Wednesday. It's the day after I recorded all this. I didn't know I had that much footage, but trying something new this time. Trying a different editing software, trying to fix some audio issues. So I got to editing, and next thing I know, here we are at the end of the video. So I'm well ahead of Monday's schedule. And yeah, I'm going to see if I like this. Got some other changes coming up soon in terms of how I record, which may or may not add some value to the viewing experience. So anyway, we'll talk about that some other time. But I do appreciate you coming along, as always. And until next time, we'll see you later.